We're going to talk about always remember, never forget. This is on Imagination with the Healing Garden. After 9/11, this marketing concept came out. I am a New Yorker. I have been a New Yorker since I was 2 years old. I was born and raised in New York State, and I was raped on 9/11. So when I hear always remember, never forget, it absolutely enraged me the first time I heard it. What exactly was I supposed to remember? What exactly were we supposed to never forget? The pain, the rage, the vengeance? What exactly are we supposed to always remember and never forget? I was furious at those words. When I looked at the political cartoons at that time period, what I saw was vengeance, pain, hatred, and believe me, I felt it. So when I saw the words and the idea of always remembering that hatred, always remembering that vengeance, it disgusted me. I did not want to walk away from 9/11 remembering that. More than 3,000 people died that day. And the idea of holding on to that kind of hatred dishonors them. So I walked away with an agenda to figure out what exactly it was we were supposed to remember and never forget. What I remember from 9/11 is the brotherhood that followed. I remember how much New Yorkers and the world banded together for New York. I remember how much money was raised and how much that brotherhood brought our humanity out and we shined our best. That is what I remember. When I studied the 12 ethics, one of the things that really stood out predominantly for me was the idea that the 12 ethics were, in fact, forgotten in the 4th century. As soon as they were forgotten, 100 years later, we went from a flourishing society in the Roman Empire to a crashing, devastating dark ages that, in my opinion, we are still very much in. My work revives those 12 ethics, along with all the lost sciences of Plato and Alexandria that we lost in the 4th century. So for me, forgetting the 12 ethics, not remembering the 12 ethics, very much results in the events of 9/11. If you forget the 12 ethics, then things like Pearl Harbor happens. If you forget the 12 ethics, then things like Hiroshima and Nagasaki happen. If you forget the 12 ethics, then things like the Holocaust happen. I depict so many cases in history where the 12 ethics are abandoned and we see the worst of humanity. In point of fact, after 9/11, when we bonded together in humanity, what we saw in that moment was, in fact, the 12 ethics hard at work. And that was when I realized that that is what I wanted to remember from 9/11. So I very much use those words as a solid reminder that we are to always remember the 12 ethics and never forget the 12 ethics, because that is our humanity. Because the 12 ethics, when integrated, are love. So really, always remember love, never forget love. And that's what I learned from 9/11. Thank you. And may the kindest of words always find you.